Okay. Very good. Only have a little issue with my camera device. It should be camera or so. Okay. So yeah, it looks like okay. Let's get back to this refactoring tasks. So I need buff IO and exec. And we have OS as well. And strings. Alright, so this is for our new scheme command. And we have the var list and tracts that is also being used here. I would like to put the scheme command anywhere in here. Then there's the clone command. So clone command, there is a clone command and there is the clone commit command that are both one single command at this moment. I need to remove this file. Alright, and here we have done like all through all this little command here. One that is still needs to go through, and that little guy. One is not actually the good answer. I will call it clone commit command. So let's call here clone commit. Package cmd. We first have this one. Clone command. We would return this value. Nothing much. And then we have this variables here for new clone commit command. use oh, I already have so miss this guys. After what I have CMD. To be a cover command. And here the whole command here. This being now new cloud commit command is not there yet. Oh, have no llama option. That just an option for us to say that we don't want to use the llama post processing. So disable llama 3.2 commit message extraction or post processing. And also CMD, same thing here for CMD. No commit option is the one that says that we don't want to actually disable git commits ultimate step. I don't really know what's the effect of this one. And here we just return CMD. We have to import OS and zap. Does it have HTTP for what? Okay, yeah, because we do an HTTP query. And by the way, these values should be extracted from as an argument that was part of the things we had to do. So we will have for vertex project ID, vertex model, and vertex location. The three we all know the default values are, so vertex location will be cmd.flags.string, so I'll call it like vix location, and that would be Europe West 1, so that will be vertex location. Okay. So like vertex AI project location. Then we have vertex model. Vertex model, right? Oops. Come on, like what's happening? Flags string vx model to be cloud 35 Sone, for example. vertex AI model, cloud model. Model ID or something, so. And we got the project ID. That will go next. So vertex model, vertex project ID equal to cmd of flags string vx project vertex AI project ID. And new here cloud commit should be new cloud commit command. There we go. So I'm sure there's a pretty much a lot of error here. We have undefined HTTP. We have yeah, it was telescope diagnostic. Undefined FMT bytes iOS. FMT bytes iOS is JSON strings. We have Olama. Client from environment. Are we actually using Olama here? I think we are. It's from here. We already see also using runtime somewhere. Okay. Undefined runtime from cloud commits to get like if we are in the Windows, for example, full gap to OS specific clear to be clearing the screen. Indeed. Okay. Here it's new news. I think it's on news here as well. Let's see. Type check here. We have some errors. Sort imported not used. Well, I think this is only from old guys. Not being refreshing. Needed to refresh the linter for those ones. All right, let's go telescope diagnose. Still having CMD install here. All right, so undefined GitHub TF of description, TF of name, private. So that's, I think, from the old description as well. We need to delete this buffer. And we have a new scheme command not being used. That's pretty weird. So let's go to root sk. We are using an scheme command, so I think it's only from as well undiagnosed file, because the linter was not like really used before that. So as far as I know, no more diagnostics found. So the product is ready for this refactoring commits. And I will just add everything manually for this time, for this last time. After that, I will add the language untracked and tracked file fuzzy finder for all the files that are being updated and that we want to get notice that either they are like new untracked file, or file that were tracked and that are not being staged. For the changes being not staged, I think it's pretty easy to go to them. Reading git status for both the cases, for both our cases. So and they are like files that are like in the middle, so they have either the first letter or the second letter of there. And I think normally there was if I see into my root command file, there is actually much better here, because I know that I have like some fstat or something, telescope type def, or I forgot like how I do list my types in my file. Yes, that's it, space T. And fstat is like the file status. So untracked new file, modified. So we have staged and unstaged, and we have untracked, we have modified and untracked. And here we have also untracked new file. So not sure when we are actually using this untracked new file function, and yeah. Anyways, let's me add to this my git commits. Nothing is coming through my mind right now. Let me compile this and go install this as well. And terminal, yeah, go install. So unstaged modified files, and then it also displays something else. I don't really like the basic approach like of YAG. It's perfectly not right. I think that default YAG should like give you FZF of I don't like anymore this home screen. So I might change this, but I still don't know like how I would like to change it either. All right. In the meantime, I might say I have new files here. cmd.root has changed, so git add cmd. Git status just to get notified about it. So when you have a new file here, a new untracked file, you have A for new untracked file. And for modified files, you have the M status here being changed. So that's actually both the tests we are running. So that's what I would like to have. Actually, now if I do YAG says staging untracked files. So and now we know that we are staging those files, and we are not anymore into any problems with those files. So those files will not like be anymore in the table of the files we want to actually stage because they are already staged. But at the same time, what is the interface we want to give to the user? Because if we just do, we can unstage some files, for example. So so files that are actually that were staged can be like tipped as like want them to stage them, and some files we want them to stay staged, or to stage files that aren't well known from the system. So the UI should be something like at the end we can add like a U for unstage, and we should have like the name, full name of file, and then like something like U here. To unstage it for the action to be understood to be we want to unstage this file. And then if it has this prefix, it means that we want to unstage the file. That could be a good UI for that I would be looking for to have. All right, but on the moment, I will commit this. I need to also maybe remove this logs. They are not required. I was afraid that it was working at the time, but refactor reorganize command into separate files, split up the large root go file into multiple focus command, move each major command into its own file, etc. Create a new constructor function for each command, keep related functionality grouped together, improve code organization and maintainability. Split out Claude Olama install scheme tag, transform another command. Add command specific constructor functions, updates. I think it's just repeat itself in here. So I will only say this about it and about the root file. So, all right, that's good. That's good, and this is for me enough for git push, git remote. Git push origin main. So now I do have where is my GitHub here? It's in here. So you have a new commit with everything we have changed. So I changed a bit. So now it's more accessible and I can do more updates and think about more updates. One of the updates I want to focus on right now is, for example, we have this debug, no commit flag valued, no lemma flag valued. Everything is in debug, and we are actually using, I think, Zap in here. Yeah, Zap is being used, and we're using somewhere dev, new dev for debug here in running the command. That's how we do create this command. Well, let us change this, and I will change that to new production, for example. So let me edit commit, so cmd commit, or I can do telescope fd commit, and there's cloud commit and all of my commits, but I'm talking about cloud commit this time. And we have development here, and this thing is maybe not suitable anymore, so I will do new production, and I will see what it is suggesting me in here. So first of all, YAG here is saying that we have unstage modified files. Okay, so I will just say YAG cmd cloud commit, and that would not work. It should do git add instead of cmd cloud commit, and that worked with git add. Like, no need for more tools, for more features. Just stick to the cat-v problem. So my YAG commit command here. So first I need to YAG install just to be sure it was working. But switch cloud commit logger from development to production mode, change the Zap logger initialization from new development to new production to reduce login verbosity in the cloud commit command. And I should do, there is a YAG install command that should also work. And now, like, YC should take much less, nothing to commit. All right. There are like two debugger. We have a debugger called cloud commit, and I'm not sure that YAG install currently like update which YAG. We'll see. For the moment, I just push this in here, and when I see what can we do on this side? We can start a conversation, copy, select, add a command. We can start a pull request right over. Okay, so it is actually good for this. Now we have this little switch U interface that I want to be making. So just be staging and to control the state of the stage inside of YAG. So instead of just having that report that we were experimenting with. And now I would like, when I press YAG, we enter to the skim mode. We actually have the result from git status, git status -s, and we will be testing this extensively somewhere else. So let's create tests. All right, and let's create a little library for us to work on these tests. So let's say, for example, I make a test 0. I just do a git init inside of it, and see if I can change the directory and do basic stuff related to this. This is like starting to take a lot of space. This is not easy to do. I'm starting to allocate a lot of resources in my head, like to actually think about how this can undergo. So I make a directory called test, and I want to just create a test 0 file, like so git init test, for example. I will create a test.go maybe. So I don't really remember how it does work, but package test, function test 0 t, it will start testing.t, create a new test, and we want to first of course set os dot working directory, or change directory. So this function changes the current working directory to the name directory. If there's an error, it will be a type something. So I will instead make a directory. And there's a make directory temporary. It makes a new temporary directory in the directory there and returns the path name or of the new directory. The new directory's name is generated by adding a random string to the end of the pattern. If pattern includes a star, the random string replaces the last star instead. So that's also cool. So we can make here, we call it test underscore star, or test underscore works for the best. And we need to give it a pattern as well. Wait. The new directory name is generated by adding a random string to the end of pattern. And make it into a directory. So let's make it into the current directory and call it test underscore. And this will return some name. So I don't know, name error. And so if error is not nil, t.fatal error, and otherwise we have some name, and I will just like t.log or fmc.println n. So let's see a little bit like how this should go in here. So I'm getting to my new thing. I'm going go test, and no test file found. So go test, so it's slash slash slash, and this one just failed. Oh, because of git root test as well. All right, so go test test, no test file. All right, so this is not a go test file apparently. We will call it instead main test go. Duplicate declaration. Maybe it's not, because I'm gonna just buffer delete this. Telescope fd tests go test dot slash test, and this one says okay, but I don't see anything about my print statements. So now I do see about it. So it creates a folder, right? And this folder, if I do ls in here, it's not created inside of this, it's created inside of the test folder itself. So we can manage tests this way easily, and we can then change directory and do git init. So that's the next step in here. So I will os and change directory, but I need to be aware of the current directory. So os.get current directory. Is there an easy way for get current directory? Golang. The recommended way of doing this is with os.executable. Return the path name for the executable that started the current process. There is no guarantee that the path is still pointing to the current executable. To get just the directory of the executable, you can use path file path there. Well, this get work directory, is that? Yeah, get work directory returns a rooted path name corresponding to the current directory. If the current directory can be reached via multiple paths due to symbolic links, let's return any one of them. Okay, so we got actually current directory, so work directory, and it's also do return an error or something else. Yeah, it does. So we got the working directory and maybe an error along it. It's just for me to be able to get back to it, to create multiple like repos. Actually, we will create one per each test we will like to make. But this is like a little helper we are here to make. This is a helper function, right? Because each time we will be creating a new test directory, and we will like, I would like to create initialize the Git directory, and maybe we need to come back, or I don't need to come back to it. So it's something that's possible to do with getwd, but I don't need that. Instead, I will have to change directory to n. And from there, I will like os.exec or exec.command git init. And this has to run without complaining. So return error. Too many return values. Fatal error. I would like to use a test framework, to be honest here. Stretcher is already good, and I think it will be good enough as well. So anyway, we have the possibility to go to n directory. This might return an error. So Fatal F doesn't support that. So I like it when it's with stretcher. Can we use stretcher? Assert. Or require. Yep. Require dot no error os dot so what is the syntax again? So I will just rewrite this, it's okay. So os dot change directory, whatever, I don't know actually what the syntax is. I need to go mod tidy or go get github.com. No, actually it's okay. So wrong argument count. So of course it needs a T testing thing here. Not enough argument in call to change directory. And it wants a string. So the string will be n. And then I will also require no error from the fact that I would like to do os.exec exec.command git init and dot run. So as well require dot no error for this. And let's see what about it? So I would like to have no error for here as well. So require dot no error t error. And if you want to come by the same kind of readability level here, I will press instead this syntax. So error equals to whatever we had here, but instead this way. So that's how I make my function. And so go get go tidy was already done. So go test dot slash test. I will print dash v. All right, so that already passes as well. So if I do ls as new in test, I see there is a new file from 557, and that new file from 557 called 819 whatever. It doesn't contain anything, but like if I do precise the options, I see that there is a .get inside of it. So now when I'm in that directory, I can then run yag something, and I will see if I get the appropriate results. So I'm able to create a context, but then I have no way to contextualize which directory I'm working with, because when I do execute git somewhere, it will be executed not from that directory but from somewhere else. So my testing utility will depend of some subsidiary utilities, I think. Let me maybe make a drawing or something to make sure my thoughts are aligned here with whatever I am making a fantasy or not. Okay. Okay, so there we go. All right. What am I talking about when I was saying subsidiary utilities or complete utilities? I will create some yak commands for yak tests, for example. And this yak test is supposed to be run from my tests with a singular purpose, for example, to, I don't know, so we have lists untracked. So this one are perfectly new files, and they're like some untracked that are staged. So we have like a simple matrix where we have like stage, yes or no, and then I will have untracked what else? We have like changed, and like this yes or no, and we have also the partially that can get further but for now I can just use these two, and this makes me a little table, little matrix here, where it actually just limits to, oops, where you actually have this actually just like 2 points here for possible outcomes, but this will map to my list. So I will have then list untracked, unstaged, lists. This are my four. This is my test table, to be honest. Um, but to know which command I'm going to use, I need to draw this little test utility that I'm going to work with to be able to draw my tests and to be sure that I'm not playing around too much with my tests. I mean, like that I am actually, yeah, list untracked and staged, list and changed and staged. It's a simple yes or no for stage. Okay, and then it's either untracked or changed. So we have the same thing here for list tracked or less untracked staged or list changed unstaged. And or staged. So this way I can get my little files all the time, so I know if they are like, if I want to stage them or unstage them. The goal is that we can visualize the stage, and we can say, okay, I have a file, do I want it on the stage? And if it's on the stage, I want to put it back to where it was. And for this, two states, stage or not stage, for all the states of files we can appreciate seeing here. And those are, for the moment, untracked and changed. Okay. Okay, so this has been an hour, but it could get a little more, and I don't think I will get out of it. I need to first write this 5 commands. So tests, the little test command I need to add first. I think that with fstat I can get pretty easily to the results. But first I have to review how I'm using fstat. So let's see, if I'm able to figure out how I'm using fstat, then it's not that difficult. So I don't see any instance of fstat here, but let's see where I can telescope references. So there's a function called stat in root. The one just above here. This one is the one that will give me the status. and will construct my fstat, little fstat thing. So I think this is the one I have to get using. On the second hand, I will. I forgot about like yag root command, by the way, but I think that was on purpose. Short git root command. Okay, yeah, root command is actually like a command to get the root directory. I forgot about this one. I thought I changed by okay, so git root. All right, so let me first fix this. All right, so edit cmd git root. Function new git root command, returning a yag or cobra command. So pretending we have this git root command here, cobra command, cmd cobra command. There we go. And for this one, we have here return cmd. And I think I gotta leave. So yeah, that will be all for now, and I will come back with more